Producer Sally Burch has been here nearly 30 years. She arrived just a few months after the radio station launched, and today is her last day, and she's promised to try best not to cry, but I suspect, well, you are already, aren't you, looking at your face? You didn't really know we were going to do this today.
No, I didn't know at all, no.
But I think it's important, presenters get... a lot of praise sometimes, and actually I hope I'm really good at passing that back on to you and the colleagues and things.
You are very good.
We're only as good in front of the microphone as the team behind it, and I have some just truly wonderful colleagues that we work with now and that we hold it together, and we have worked with over the years, and I've been truly blessed. We were thrown together 9 years ago, weren't we?
We were
thrown together.
Peter Cook said, "Do you want to work with Mark?" I said, "No, not really." That's a joke. That was a joke.
No, I'm not sure. Not sure at the time, but it's been a wonderful relationship, and I thank you for all of the great moments that we've shared.
Oh, bless you.
Ones that spring to mind. For children in need, you dressing up as Penelope Pitstop and me as a Thunderbird, and standing in a field at the Suffolk Showground with Tori, who's another regular on BBC Radio Suffolk, who's with Suffolk Young Farmers at the time. She got us a cow.
I know, Diamond.
Thanks, Diamond the cow. Thanks to the team at the Showground, we were able to mark out one of the rings with squares, and people pledged £10 for a square, and we were waiting to see which square the cow pooed in, and that was probably one of my highlights.
And we waited ages, didn't she? And then she
did it square one.
Number one.
Yeah, I know. So who did you work with when you first started here? Let's take you back. I know you were on the sofa with Leslie yesterday, but who did you first work with?
So I started with Robert Diggings, because when we first came on air, the programme was shared with Norfolk and Royal Waller, and after a year they decided that they wanted to bring our own afternoon programme in-house. And at the time, I was temping as a secretary for Ivan Howlett, lovely Ivan, who was the
our original
at the time.
editor. Yeah. And
they said, "Would you like to be an RPA for the afternoon programme?" And I said, "I have absolutely no idea what that means. Radio production assistant I bet I didn't know at the time." And I said, "But I love it here, and if you think I can do it, I'll do it." Oh. And 18.5 hours a week, and never look back.
Shall we see what you were like as a fledgling RPA back in 1991?
Yeah.
Because Robert Diggings is on the line to you right now.
Hello, morning.
She's gone, Robert.
Have this opportunity to say hello.
She's gone.
What she didn't tell you, of course, is when Ivan said, "Would you like to work with Robert Diggings?" she also said, "No, not really."
We've got something in common.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Robert.
What a momentous day, Sally. I remember when I first met you, I was still in nappies. And you arrived with an actual baby in nappies in a pushchair, and that was when we first met. And you said, "I'm going to come and work for you." I thought, thank goodness, finally we might be able to do something worthwhile on the afternoon show.
Oh my God! Oh dear, that was amazing.
You created quite a show actually together. I seem to remember there were all sorts of people that rang in from a mystery village in the middle of Suffolk. I seem to remember.
There were a lot of callers from a mystery village. Kingslayham, I believe, Sally, we put Kingslayham on the map.
I think we did. Everybody was searching for Kingslayham, and it went on for months, didn't it? Well, years actually.
Months and months and months. And
yeah.
I think there was even a Down Suffolk Way, which was a kind of documentary series that Brian Robinson produced. I think he even did an episode from Kingslayham, which was quite an achievement since nobody knew where it was.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got a blast from the past. Actually, to be quite honest with you, I didn't know she was still alive.
What, Lady Felicity?
Lady Felicity's on the line. Good morning, Lady Felicity.
Good morning, dear. Good morning. Good morning.
Lady Felicity, thank goodness you're still with us.
I can't believe it, dear. I thought you were dead, dear.
Well, the rumours are almost true. Are you self-isolating at the moment? How's lockdown been for you?
Hasn't it been awful, dear? Do you know, I'm now in sheltered accommodation and I haven't been out for weeks.
No.
Mr. Jolly.
Are you getting any food? What are you eating?
No, they come round. I have Rita. Rita comes round, dear, and she brings me food, which is, you just have to put it in the, you have to put it in the
microwave?
In the microwave, dear. And you have to wait until it goes ping. And then you can... It's not what I used to have, dear. Because as you know, Violet used to look after me. My cleaner Violet. She was She was a stalwart, dear. She used to cook for me and clean for me. But those days are gone, dear.
Yes,
I'm just waiting to get the prick now, dear, and then we can get out and about again.
You mean the jab?
Yes, dear.
We're all
Yes.
waiting for the prick, and luckily Matt Hancock was on earlier telling us it's going to happen very soon, so you're going to be all right.
Yes, dear.
Lady Felicity, are you? How is One-Eyed Winnie? Is she still around or not?
No, she died, dear. One-Eyed Winnie from Wilberswick, she died, dear. As did Sticky Rita from the sweet shop. But my best friend, who's Lavinia Spencer Parker, she still lives 4 doors along, dear, overlooking the common. She's got a dyke at the bottom of the garden. She still lives there. I haven't seen or heard from her for weeks. And Mr. Jolly is still about, but his wife did die as well.
Oh dear. Do you see Mr. Jolly much these days?
No, dear, no. They can't come near me, you see. Can they? They have to keep their distance, and Randy passed away some years ago now.
Dear.
I know, so sad, dear, but this, you know what? As long as we can carry on, dear. I've got bingo every Wednesday night. We do bingo. And what they do, they shout the numbers through the letterbox, dear. The game lasts for 4.5 hours. But last week I won a tin of tuna.
Well done.
Yeah.
Very good. The last time I remember talking to you, which was a long, long time ago, I seem to remember was when Mr. Jolly took you to the cinema, and he took you to the Leiston Film Theatre, and you inadvertently ended up going to watch 50 Shades of Grey. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do, dear, yes. That was quite a while ago, dear. He said it was a romantic film. It was nothing. It was smut, dear. It was smart. I told him, do avert your eyes, dear. Do not look at the screen. He got up and left after about 20 minutes, dear. But do you know, dear, I remember Sally. I remember the first time she phoned me, dear, and I didn't like her to start with. I did find her awfully common, dear, because she used to have a little twang in her voice. Do you know what? Have you seen her twang, dear?
Well, we've sat next to each other for 9 years, so...
Dear. But there was one instance, she phoned up one day because I used to call him Giggly Diggly, dear.
Yes.
Yes, and he used to do a load of old nonsense on his programme, dear. And she phoned me up one day, and I said, what's the matter, dear? And she said, I've got the rash, dear, to come back. So do you know what, dear? I sent her, in first-class post, a secret family recipe, and she made up this concoction, dear, applied it to the rash, and it went. And after that, she was a different person towards me.
Lady Felicity, it's been
you kind of became her healer, didn't you? In that regard, and I think it was probably quite a bonding experience.
When she used to phone me, dear, it was like being one of the Samaritans. She used to be on the phone for the best part of 20 minutes, telling me all her problems, dear.
Well, that is. I think that was part of the success of the afternoon programme.
Yes.
To be honest, was that Sally was able to speak to so many people and get all sorts of all her problems sorted out, including medical rashes.
Yes. Lady Felicity, would you?
It was one of the gifts of the afternoon.
Would you like me to pass on your number, Lady Felicity, to Sally so that you can keep in touch?
That would be lovely, dear. And I do wish her, of course, all the very best. Is she going into a home as well?
Lady F.
You let them in earlier, you know. You know, when I was at the Wilting Bush nursing home, dear, before I moved into the sheltered accommodation, there was a woman in there, and she was in her late 40s.
Really?
And I thought, they're letting them in here earlier than ever, aren't they, dear? Have you noticed?
Yes.
Is she going into one?
I don't know. Are you going into one, Sally? She's lost it. She's absolutely lost it. Lady Felicity, thank you very much. Bye-bye now.
Goodbye, dear.
Goodbye. Goodbye,
Hi,
dear.
Lady Felicity. What a delight to hear you.
How lovely. Robert, what do you want to say to Sal before she leaves the building?
Well, what I want to say, Sally, is that Mark has said it as well. It's the incredible support that you offered me back then in those very early days, and your production nous. I think the one story I was thinking about what was the most amazing thing that you did, and I think this what you did around a caller who phoned who got the wrong number I can't remember his name. It was something like Roger, and he lived in Shrewsbury. And he got through to you because he'd misdialed. Now, any normal person answering the phone would have said, sorry, you've got the wrong number. What you did was put him on air and said, I've got a guy on called Mark who's got a good answer to the competition. Ask him where he lives. So Mark comes on. I go, hello, Mark. Good to have you with us. Sally says, I've got to ask you where you live. And he said, yeah, I live in Shrewsbury. And I said, so how do you know what the competition is? He goes, well, Sally's told me. I said, have you ever listened to radio stuff? No, of course I haven't. I live in Shrewsbury. And then he became a regular caller. He used to ring into a programme that he couldn't hear.
Things haven't changed, you'll be pleased to know.
No.
Diggly Giggly, thank you very much.
Oh, Robert, it's lovely to speak to you.
Pleasure.
Oh, we must get together, we really do. Thank you. Lots of love.
Once we get the prick, you can all get together again, can't you? Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.